And then, of course, I want to talk about some of my favorite Star Wars things. If you're wondering why I'm pausing, because I'm thinking maybe I could just split it up into three different videos so that I don't know, it sounds a little boring if you're gonna go through, because right now it's at 21 minutes. Can you imagine going through a 21-minute video? Why not split it up into three? It makes it more manageable. Okay, so sometimes I have a lot of Star Wars junk, and I say junk because they're just there. Or no, let's say Star Wars memorabilia. I am sure that if you counted everything, the books, the Funko Pops, the posters, ewan, it's I'm sure it's at least 100 different items. Oh, the shirts. Okay, so yeah, easily 100 different items. And then sometimes I think to myself, if I had to give up everything and I could only keep five things, what would it be? The first two or three are actually very easy for me. So this is my Darth Vader Master Replicas Force FX lightsaber, and this is the lightsaber that I had with me when I did the Star Wars run. This is the lightsaber in the photo, in the earlier part of the video, or in the other video, depending on how I end up splitting it. This is a graduation gift that I got from my parents when I graduated in the year blank. Or you know what? Okay, I'll say it anyway. In '06. When I discovered this, I was at a friend's house and he had it, and he said that he got it in Hong Kong. They also sell it in the Philippines, but back then, if you got it from Hong Kong, it was 7,500 pesos, and then if you bought it from Green Hills, it was 10,500 or 11,000 or maybe 10,000, but significantly more expensive. So I sent a text to my dad or my mom and asked if they could get it, and I was very specific about the instructions. It's a lightsaber from Toys R Us. This is the cost, etc., etc. And I had to be specific because there are cheap Darth Vader lightsabers. And what happened actually was they had gotten me the cheap lightsaber. You know those the collapsible ones. And thankfully, after they purchased it, they were wondering why it was so cheap when I had said it was 7.5. So they went back. They asked for the one that was more expensive, and then it was this one. So I've had this for 20 years. I used to keep it displayed on a shelf above my desk, but unfortunately, and I realized it too late, the sun damages the lightsaber. So if you can see it, there's a little yellowing of the lightsaber, but it should be this color. It should be white. Does it still work? Absolutely. Absolutely. And then there is a speaker here, so that if you wave it around, there are sound effects. The only thing is, this lightsaber is not dual grade, meaning you're not supposed to hit someone or you hit another lightsaber with it like too strong. Okay, you can strike other things and it will have the clashing sound. Okay, so unfortunately, because it's old, I there it's supposed to make that sound whenever it clashes or hits against anything, but because it's old, it does not work as well anymore. So that is one of the things that I would keep. The other thing that I am 100% sure I would keep is my Stormtrooper helmet. Alright? So this one, I forgot what it's made of, but I bought this from my good friend Chris Cantada. So Chris has a full set of armor, but the helmet is a bit too big. So when he realized that he could buy a smaller helmet that would fit him, he decided to post this online and to sell it. Thankfully, when he posted it, I was one of the first people that saw it. And I messaged him right away. I said, Chris, please don't sell the helmet to anyone else. I will get it. Okay? He gave it to me at a good price, and I keep it hidden because I guess it's natural. It's also starting to turn yellow. So it was another one of those things I used to keep displayed above my shelf, but because of the discoloration, I decided to hide it. So that's part of the reason I hide a lot of my Star Wars stuff, because I'm worried that it'll get damaged and I don't want to damage it. Okay, The third thing that I said I would probably keep um, is the Thrawn trilogy, original Thrawn trilogy books. So this is the first one. This is Heir to the Empire. The other two, the second book is called Dark Forces Rising, or Dark Force Rising, and then the third book is The Last Command. So for the people that read the book, this came out May 1991. I didn't read it in 1991. I might have read it in 95 or 96, or maybe 97. I remember the moment that I saw it. I just don't remember the year. I was in National Bookstore Glorieta, and then when I was walking by one of the shelves, I saw Star Wars, and I was curious, and so I ended up buying it. So this might be, and I'm not even making a joke, but I think this is the first book that I read that did not have any pictures in it. It's like purely text, and I absolutely love this book. Unfortunately, this is no longer considered canon, meaning it's not part of the official Star Wars timeline anymore. But thankfully, Admiral Thrawn was brought back into canon by the show Star Wars Rebels. Okay. Since then, there have been, I don't know how many new Thrawn books. There might be 5 new Thrawn books, because there was the original trilogy, and then there was a duology. So there are 5 Legends books, and then now there are new books. So this is the first official. This is the first of the new trilogy. It's just called Thrawn, where it talks about his backstory. And Jiggy actually brought this with him when he went to, I don't know if it was New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con in 2018, and he had it signed by the author Timothy Zahn. So this would be, you know what, maybe not just the original trilogy, but the Thrawn books in general, the original and then the new trilogy. If I could keep those as, those would be some of the things I would keep. And it's funny because I also have issue number 1 of the comic. Okay, so issue number 1, because or part 1, because the original book is split into 6 comics, and this is the first one. My sister bought this for me. So Sarah, my sister, bought this for me, and she bought this at a discount. She probably got this for 50 or 100 pesos. And I've only read it once or twice. And since then, I've kept it hidden away in my cabinet. And then I found out sometime last year that this particular comic started going up in value. I don't know when, because this, in Heir to the Empire, this is the first appearance of Admiral Thrawn and Mara Jade. So those are 2 very important characters from the Legends, from Star Wars Legends. Unfortunately, only Admiral Thrawn has made it into official canon again. Mara Jade is still not in canon, and fans are hoping that she be brought into canon at some point. But it's hard to do, because in the original, in Legends, she ends up marrying Luke. So if you've seen episode 7, 8, 9, you know that he doesn't get married. So I don't know how they would bring her in. They still could, because she has a very interesting backstory. And because I love Thrawn so much, he's one of my favorite characters. So Ahsoka, Thrawn, and Han Solo are Admiral Thrawn are my favorite characters. I actually have a Funko Pop of Admiral Thrawn. At one point, I think this was worth, I don't know, more than 10,000 pesos. But since then, they've released more Thrawn Funko Pop, so the price has gone down. But to be honest, no matter how much it would have been, I wouldn't give it up. So I have some Star Wars Funko Pops that have increased in value, but I don't think I'd ever sell it. And if I did, I'd probably just sell it to a friend at the price that I got it. Alright, so those are the first 3 things. So the lightsaber, the Stormtrooper helmet, and the Thrawn trilogy books. The Legend set, and then the original. And then the 4th thing that I thought of was this Star Wars Lego set featuring Ahsoka and Darth Maul. Because Ahsoka and Darth Maul are 2 of my favorite characters. Diane got me this for Christmas a few years ago, and I've never opened it. So unfortunately, because Lego turns yellow when exposed to the sun, I have maybe 7 Lego sets that are still in their boxes, and I just don't open them. So this is maybe the 4th item. The 5th, I am not so sure yet. So I don't have it with me. Sorry, there's some dust, because again, I keep these things stored up. Sort of way. I still don't know what the fifth thing would be. The first three were easy. The fourth was actually relatively easy. Also, I just didn't think about Lego right away. But when Dan was like, "Well, what about your Lego?" I was like, "Oh, okay. I do have a lot of Lego, and then this would be one of the ones I would keep, or this would be the one that I would keep. I don't know what the fifth one would be, but maybe someday I'll remember it. Oh, you know what? Sorry, no, I do remember what I was thinking for the fifth thing, and I say that because I took it out of storage, and it is this shirt. If I had to keep only one Star Wars shirt, it would be this shirt. And this is the shirt I was talking about that is 30 years old. So I got this in Mega Mall when the original special edition came out. And I say original special edition because since then, the original trilogy has been edited so many different times. They added small details or changed added more special effects and stuff. But the original and I think the special edition are my preferred versions of it. I just don't know where you can still find the original version of Star Wars without all the additions that George Lucas made. But there, sorry, I can't believe that's the fifth thing. I thought of that earlier when I was looking at my stuff. I was like, oh, you know what? There has to be a shirt. So it's the lightsaber, Stormtrooper helmet, the Thrawn trilogy books, that Star Wars Lego, and that shirt. Because that shirt was from my dad, and that no, that's not my first Star Wars shirt, but that one is my favorite Star Wars shirt. Like I would wear that to school all the time, and then at some point I just stopped wearing it because I realized I didn't want it to fade any further. Because I mean, this used to be this black, and now it's still black, but you know what I mean. And this shirt is so special that it had to be the shirt that I wore on day two, day two of Star Wars Celebration. So that's it. That's my update. If you watched the whole thing, if you watched the 33-minute video, thank you. Or if you watched all three videos, I hope you enjoyed. Because I know I enjoy telling the stories. I have so much Star Wars stuff. I have shoes, and I have this one figure of Stormtrooper that's shaped like Mickey but is painted. It's Donald wearing a Stormtrooper, Donald Duck wearing a Stormtrooper outfit, and that's another one of my favorite things. If I had 10 things, that would be one of the 10 things I would keep. That's all. Talk to you soon, and may the Force be with you.